My name is Monique Hansen, and I've been with Ride to Fly since 2013. Really well. This has been involved as long as I've been involved. They've been very, very generous with us, and we've been able to utilize the funds to do things like refurbish our ramp, build our pergola for our parents, being able to buy feed for the horses. And whenever the ladies come visit, I always try and make sure to say hello and thank them. So let me thank you guys now for keeping us going, because we want to service as many of our special needs people in our community as we can.
The members of Vistas are incredible women from every part of life. There are women who are CEOs of their own households, who run their own companies, women who are just coming up in the world that are trying to find their way. But all of them have a common goal. These women believe that giving back is one of the most important things that they need to do. And they selected Vistas in order to channel that giving.
When Vistas comes to my mind, I think of very grateful people that receive and give. And I think of community. I think of the people that I've been around and people that I choose to be around.
We just have a huge variety of wonderful, great women that have the same vision to help their community.
As a whole, I look at these women as a group of women with the biggest hearts who want to give back to their community in some way and have a love for children.
You want to start, Tom?
No, go ahead.
I'm Patty Sullivan.
I'm Tom Sullivan, I think.
Tom and I have coming up on our 50th wedding anniversary next year, and it's kind of amazing to think that when we were just 10 years married, we began this amazing organization that has continued all this time.
Vistas began in 1978 as Vistas for the Blind. It was started by Tom and Patty Sullivan. They were very, very passionate about donating and raising money for blind children.
God, 1978. I was doing a lot of television, and so I got recruited to be a board member for Braille Institute. I came home from the first board meeting and said to Patty, geez, you know, we've been asked as board members to figure out how to raise some money. And at the time, though I was doing a lot of television, we didn't have a lot of money. So I basically said to you, can you think of anything that we might do? She and at least 15 of the women over the course of time would go down once or twice a week to the Blind Children's Center and work in the classroom specifically with kids.
And then from that was the group of ladies, and we said, well, let's just do a plant sale. We can go down to downtown and we'll get a bunch of plants and we'll have them in Suzanne's yard. And that was number one. And then the next one was the garage sale. We gathered all of our junk and supervised the sale. And I think that gave us some seed money. So we had another possibility. No one's doing anything in the spring. It's after Thanksgiving. It's after Christmas. Why don't we do the Sullivan St. Patrick's Day run? And sure enough, the city of Torrance was delighted. We met with some of the assemblymen and they got our approvals through with the city. All of our friends in the South Bay turned out, and I think it's still considered one of the great days in the city.
And now the gun has gone off for the start of the Tom Sullivan 10K.
And the reason for this event is to draw attention to and raise money for the Vistas for Blind Children.
We have had the opportunity to be able to expand the group and go into other philanthropies in various areas, not just sight impaired, but all different type of special needs.
Our experience as philanthropy chairs has been amazing in terms of what we've got to see. When we receive the applications, it's actually heartwarming and heartbreaking because there's so much need. It's usually 3 times the need that we have to give. So every year the goal is let's just get more so we can give more. And you know, it's funny because sometimes it's just the smallest amount that makes a huge difference to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, visiting a lot of the organizations that we support, and seeing the work that they do. What we do is nothing compared to what they're putting in.
We are known for fully vetting all of the programs, community affairs, and nonprofits that we support.
We have a 4-level vetting process, starting with our vice presidents of philanthropy, onto a very intense grant review committee process, which then gets approved by our board of directors, and then finally through our members.
Being known as being very thorough in your vetting means that we are trusted as good stewards with the money that we raise.
Well, the way we raise money for Vistas is we really come together as a community. And by doing that, we have our galas, we have our fashion show, our golf tournament, Junior Vistas does events. It's not just one thing.
The fashion show is like one of the best parts of Vistas because we just have such a great time doing it, number one. But number two, it is one of the best, most professionally organized fashion shows in the community. So many other organizations do fashion shows, but they do not do it like Vistas. We go all out. We hire professional models, professional producers. It's purely professional and fun.
As my husband says, when is that Vistas event going to be? Because all these women are pretty fun and beautiful inside and out.
One of my favorite quotes is a quote from Margaret Mead, who says, "Never doubt that the commitment of strong people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever does."
I was raised with a list of priorities in this order. The first one is faith, then it's family, and then it's your community.
I was raised with the notion that too much is given, much is expected. And so for me, I can't live life without giving.
I was used to staying very busy. Anything I've ever done, like I was involved in the Pop Warner football and cheerleading, and I always had a board role or was working big jobs. And I found that this group of women were just so effective in everything they did.
It is an amazing organization. Lots of powerful women, and we are making a difference.
Wonderful friendships. I think for all of us, we've taken away, and I would never have met Puni and Kay had it not been for Vistas.
I would say that more than half of the friends that I have today over the last 18 years have all been in Vistas or are still alumni with the Vista organization.
Well, you can imagine that the women that become involved in Vistas have the same kind of moral fiber. Those are the people I want to hang out with. Those are the people that I love. And those are the beautiful women of Vistas. And I'll be friends with all of them, always.
I think of it as my respite. And I step outside of myself and I give. And for me, that is the most amazing feeling. And I want to keep feeling that over and over again, because to me, that's life. That's life.
I mean, think of it. That's power. Volunteers who give their hearts and souls and minds and bodies to something larger than themselves. Man, that's awesome.
It's just awesome.